Shalom, shalom, and welcome to Joyce aka Daughter of Zion YouTube channel. God bless you so much, my viewer and my listener, for choosing to listen or to watch to my videos. May God bless you so much. Let me ask you to subscribe to my channel, and God bless you so much. And you can also like the video, and if you are in a position to share the video with anybody that you thinks that you want him or her to know the truth, you can share the videos with him or her, and God will literally bless you. So today I'm asking, is Jesus 100% God and 100% man? And my viewer and my listener, if you have noticed that most of the videos that I've done from the beginning is that I am trying to look at the many things that we have carried along with ourselves, thinking and taking them to be the truth, yet they are not. They are completely not the truth. And that is why today I'm asking whether Jesus is 100% God and 100% man. Because this is what we were told. This is what we were preached to. That Jesus is 100% God and 100% man. And that makes people to say that Jesus, they call people God. People say that Jesus is God. And it is very wrong, my dear viewer and listener, to say that Jesus is God. So I want us to look at these two issues so that we can establish whether Jesus is God or Jesus is man, and we know where the truth is. First, I want us to look at whether Jesus is God. And why do people say that Jesus is God? People say that Jesus is God because of John chapter 1 verses 1, which says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." This scripture is the one which makes people say that Jesus is God. And the Word was God. That phrase is what messed up everything. Everything. And it is long, I repeat, to say that Jesus is God. So, my dear viewer and my dear listener, I want us to look at this scripture very carefully and with an open mind. So first, the first phrase says that in the beginning was the Word, with a comma. So that is one item or one entity. In the beginning was the Word. The Word, one entity. There is a comma. Second phrase says that, and the Word was with God. Now, with God, it has ceased to be one, and now there are two. And the Word was with God. Now these are two entities, not one. The third phrase says that, and the Word was God. Now, here we are told now, they are not two now, they are now one. And the Word was God. Now this one has become one item or one entity. This is not possible. The writer started very well. In the beginning was the Word, one. We can represent that one with a W. Let's see. Word, like this. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. We can represent God with G. And the Word was God. So it is the Word and God. The Word and God. So W and G. So it is W and G. The Word with God. Two different items or two different entities. He continues to say that the Word was God. Now, let me ask, how now do we join W and G, the Word and God, to become one? How will it be possible? It is not possible. It is not. And I can say that that phrase, that the Word was God, was put there to confuse people. But the correct phrase or translation of that scripture, because Bible was translated from the original translation to now the way we read them today, it ought to be that the Word and the Word was godliness. So let us see from other scriptures whether Jesus was God or not. And we read the same John chapter 14 verses 27 verses 28. Let me read verses 28. It says, "You heard me say, I am going away, and I am coming back to you. If you loved me, you would be glad that I am going to the Father, and the Father is greater than I." So it is Jesus who is speaking. He has said that he is going. He is going to the Father, and the Father is greater than him. So this cannot be one person. There is one who is greater, and there is the one who is not greater. So he has said that the Father is greater than him. So they are not equal. The Father who is God is greater. And it is Father with a capital F. He is greater than him. And so these scriptures tell us, if you read verses 27, he is saying that he is going. So this scripture tells us that his Father and him, they are different. They are not one, and they are not equal. Another scripture is in Luke chapter 3:22, where it says that during his baptism, a voice was heard from heaven and said that, "Thou art my beloved Son, in whom I am pleased with. I am well pleased." That is Luke chapter 3 verses 24. You can read. So that was God who was speaking, referring to his Son, who is Jesus. And he said that, "You are my Son, in whom I am well pleased." So from this verse, we also see that God and Jesus are not one. And God is referring to Jesus as his beloved Son. So Jesus is not God, because God is calling him my Son, my beloved Son. So they are not one. We go to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 8. I will read from verses 22. And it is a wrong scripture, a wrong text, but allow me to read so that we can understand. But remember, let us not lose focus from John chapter 1, verses 1, that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Let us remember that one so very well. So let us see whether Proverbs chapter 8 from verses 22 to 36 will connect with John chapter 1 verses 1. The first two phrases, not the third one. That in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Let us link so that we can see whether there is any connection between those two phrases of John 1:1 and Proverbs chapter 22 to 36. So, the Lord brought me forth as the first of his works, before his deeds of old. I was appointed from eternity, from the beginning, before the word began. So let us pause there. I was appointed from the beginning, before the word began. And John 1:1 said that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. So he was appointed before the Word began. When there were no oceans, I was given birth. When there were no springs abounding with the waters, before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills, I was given birth. Yani, before everything was created, Jesus was there. The Word was there. Before he made the earth or its fields, or any of the dust of the world, I was there when he set up the heavens in place, when he marked out the horizons on the face of the deep, when he established the crowns above and fixed securely the fountains of the deep, when he gave the seas its boundary, and so that the waters would not overstep his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was a craftsman at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence. Let us mark that one. Rejoicing always in his presence. So this is not one person. He is saying he was rejoicing always in his presence. Rejoicing in the whole world and delighting in mankind. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instructions and be wise. Do not ignore it. Blessed is the man who listens to me, watching daily at my doors, waiting at my doorways. For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. But whoever fails to find me harms himself. All who hate me love death. So, we have seen verses 30. Then I was the craftsman at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence. So, does that agree with what God said during his baptism, that thou art my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased with? That one agrees. So, from these verses which I have read, quite a number, and Proverbs, in where it is started, it is saying that I was appointed from eternity, from the beginning, before the world began. It is agreeing with John 1:1 that in the beginning was the Word. And verses 30 has told us that he was his delight. He was delighting every day before his presence. It has agreed with what God said, the voice that came from heaven, God's voice saying that thou art my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. So this one is talking, is not, these scriptures are not talking about one person, but two. Two entities, not one. So let us read another scripture in the book of Psalms. Psalms 121 verses 4. It says, "Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep." Psalms 121 verses 4. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. So, if the keeper or if the one who watches over Israel is God, and he does not slumber or sleep, he is on 24/7. But there is a time that Jesus slept. There is a time that Jesus slept in the ship when there were storms, and he had to be woken up by his disciples. That story you can read from the book of Mark, chapter 4, verses 38. There is a time that Jesus slept. There were storms in the ship, in the sea, and Jesus was sleeping. When his disciples were afraid, they thought that they will perish. They woke him up. He was sleeping. So if God, who is the keeper of Israel, does not sleep, does not slumber, and Jesus, so Jesus cannot be God, because he was sleeping on a pillow. He cannot be God if the keeper of Israel does not slumber or does not sleep. My dear viewer, my dear listener, are those not enough scriptures to confirm to us that Jesus is not God? So the preaching that Jesus is 100% God and 100% man is not true. It is false. And that's why I said that I have been doing videos about the things that we were told, the things that we were preached to, the things that we have carried around thinking that they are truth, yet they are falsehood. And we have lived with them. So from those scriptures, we can say that Jesus is not God. He is not God. So having looked at the first part that Jesus is not God, so in the next part, remember is Jesus 100% God and 100% man. So in the next video, we shall look at whether Jesus is 100% man. Otherwise, shalom, shalom. Let's meet in that other video. We see whether Jesus is 100% man or not. Thank you for watching. You can also follow me on TikTok, Joyce aka Daughter of Zion, and on Facebook, Joyce M. Jello. Kindly subscribe to my video, my channel, and God will bless you. Shalom, shalom. Have a blessed time. Thank you.